In this video, I'll show you how to record purchase of fixed asset. Fixed asset entries documents are used for accepting purchased or produced item as fixed asset for accounting. Initially, we will consider it as an inventory item, and in the coming step, we will transfer this inventory to assets. To record purchase of inventory items, go to Purchase module, create a new invoice received document from the purchasing documents. Click on Create option to create a new document. Once the form opens, fill in the details as required. Fill in the Mean tab, choose the entity. In the Inventory tab, add the item, its quantity, and the price. Once done, post the document. Second step is to create the fixed asset item. To access the list of fixed asset, go to Accounting, Fixed Assets. Click on Create option to create the new fixed asset. Using this form, you can add a new fixed asset master record or edit the properties of an existing fixed asset. In the folder field, select the group to which this fixed asset belongs. Use the description field to provide a brief description of this fixed asset. In the inventory field, enter unique inventory identifier for the fixed asset. Under the type field, you can select the type of the fixed asset. One of the following options should be selected. It can be either fixed asset or intangible asset. For this example, I'll choose fixed asset. Once the fixed asset is added, click on Save. The next step is to create fixed asset entry document. To access the document, the fixed asset entry document, go to Accounting, click on Fixed Asset Entries. This document is used for accepting purchased or produced item as fixed asset for accounting. To create manually a new document of the fixed asset, click on Create button. In the Main Section tab, you can provide general information about the items to be accepted for accounting as a fixed asset. Use the Warehouse field to specify where the items to be used as a fixed asset is located. In the Entity field, select an entity of your company for which this document is being created. In the Item field, you can select then inventory item that will become a single or multiple fixed asset. In the Characteristics field, specify the item characteristics if applicable. In the Batch field, specify the batch of the items if applicable. In the Quantity field, enter the quantity of the items to be accepted as a fixed asset. Use the Amount field to specify the initial cost of the specified quantity of the item in the accounting currency. Notice that if the item was purchased using a foreign currency, conversion to the accounting currency is performed automatically using the actual exchange rate of both currencies with respect to the national currency. If you click the GL account link, you can view the default accounts assigned to the asset, and if needed, it can be replaced using the option Show All and choose the required GL account from the charts of account. The comment text box can be used to specify any additional information about this transaction. Once the Main tab is filled, move on to the Fixed Asset tab. Here, for each fixed asset, you can specify the accounting parameters for this fixed asset's depreciation. Click on Add on the toolbar to add the details of the fixed asset. In the Fixed Asset column, select or create on the fly a fixed asset matching the inventory item specified on the Main tab. In the Initial Cost column, enter the initial cost of the fixed asset or click the Distribute Amount button to distribute the item among between the listed fixed asset. In the Depreciation Method column, you can select one of the following depreciation methods, that is straight line or units of production. Straight line need to be used to calculate depreciation in equal monthly amounts during the fixed asset useful life. Or you can use unit of production to calculate depreciation amount proportionally to actual usage of the fixed asset. For this example, I'll use straight line method. In the useful life months, it is used for entering the number of months the fixed asset is being planned for usage. The amount of work for calculation in natural units column is used only for the asset which the unit of production selected as a depreciation method. You can enter the maximum usage in the specified unit of measure required for full depreciation of the asset. A checkbox selected in the depreciation column indicates that for this asset, the system will calculate depreciation in accordance with the selected method until the asset will be disposed of or fully depreciated. By default, the depreciation starts in the month next to the date of the document. A checkbox selected in the Depreciation in Current Month column indicates that depreciation must be calculated in the month when the asset was accepted for accounting. The Expense GL Account column shows the default GL expense account selected for transaction with the fixed asset. If needed, you can assign another GL account from the Expenses section of the charts of accounts. In the Department column, you can specify the department associated with usage of this fixed asset. In the expense item column, you can select an expense item associated with this fixed asset's depreciation cost. Use the business activity column to select the business activity with which this fixed asset is associated. The GL account column shows the default GL accounts to be used for this fixed asset depreciation. And in the transaction content, provide a brief comment related to this fixed asset accepted to accounting. Once all the details are filled, check the tabs and post the document. You can see the transaction detail using the option View Document Transaction Details. The entry created will be debit fixed asset at cost, credit goods. By this way, a property is entered for accounting. You can also refer the report Statement of Financial Position from Accounting to see the availability of this fixed asset in the report. Once the report opens, click on Quick Settings, choose the relevant entity and the period, and generate the report. You can see the property, plant, equipment will have the fixed asset 200 here, and it will be deducted from this inventory. And monthly depreciation of this fixed asset will happen with month-end closing done. Go to Accounting, open month-end closing, select the required entity and the period, and execute month-end closing. Go back to the report. The depreciation is calculated, reducing the actual figure of this fixed asset. That's how you can record the purchase of fixed asset and maintain depreciation with month-end closing. Thanks for watching the video.